Hey there and welcome. I'm Nabeela and you're listening to Reimagine Success, a space where we reimagine our relationship with work, success, and achievement. We explore the stories, the strategies, and struggles of leaders, high achievers, and everyday people who are redefining what it means to thrive across the domains of our lives. To those of you who are joining me for the very first time, I'm thrilled to have you here. So last week, I found myself in a room filled with incredible women. Founders pitching for investments, leaders who are in high-powered careers, innovators carving out new paths. Some were accelerating and some were actually intentionally slowing down, but none of them were stuck. And I left that thinking about the people who feel stuck all the time, who feel like they can't move, the ones trapped in the same job, the same expectations, and the same cycle. And that's where the idea for this piece came from. In today's episode, we explore why we get stuck, the science behind it, and most importantly, how to break free. So let's get into it. I spent International Women's Day in a room filled with bold risk takers, women who had left certainty behind to chase something new. Some were pitching their startups, hoping to secure investment to accelerate their businesses. Others had recently walked away from high-powered careers, not necessarily to build more prominence, but to live better. There was this beautiful feeling in each of the people I met, a feeling of agency. No one was a victim of their circumstances. It was as if everyone had a shot of possibility before showing up. And in a world that can feel heavy and daunting, that air of the possible was refreshing and energizing. Despite their very different circumstances and stories, each woman I met had made intentional choices. Some were accelerating, some were working to slow down, and others were in a full-on pivot, but none of them were stuck. Yes, I know, I was at an event for innovators and startup founders, so you can argue such an event would attract a crowd of people who believed they could not just change their own circumstances, but change the world. That being so, this idea of how to break free from feeling stuck is what stuck with me. But what about all the people who feel like they can't move? What about the ones who wake up every day feeling like they're trapped in the same routine, the same job, the same expectations? I actually think this is the majority of people. And feeling stuck isn't just frustrating, it's exhausting. And the worst part is the longer you stay in that mindset, the harder it becomes to believe you can break free. So why do we get stuck? Feeling stuck isn't about laziness or a lack of ambition. In fact, even when you are stuck, you are still moving. It's like you're marching in place, exerting mental and emotional energy, but you're not making the progress that you want. This cycle is often fueled by three things: the fear of change, perfectionism, and external validation. So the fear of change keeps you feeling stuck because the unknown can feel terrifying. Even if what you're doing now isn't working, at least it's familiar. The risk of change feels greater than the discomfort of staying where you are right now. Perfectionism keeps you stuck because the perfectionist tendency is that voice that says you must have the perfect plan, the perfect timing, and the perfect next step before you can move forward. And we all know that perfection is impossible, so you never make a move. External validation keeps you stuck because you keep waiting for someone else to give you permission to make a move, whether it's a boss, a loved one, or a parent. And disappointing someone else's expectations or the need for approval keeps you in the same place, all the while knowing that no one else can break free from the cycle other than you. The science of feeling stuck, learned helplessness, and learned optimism. Psychologist Martin Seligman introduced the concept of learned helplessness through a series of experiments in the 1960s. He found that when people or animals repeatedly experience situations where they have no control, they begin to believe that no action will change the circumstance, even when opportunities for change arise. This mental trap is a key reason why people feel stuck. But just like you can learn helplessness, you can also learn optimism. Seligman later developed a theory of learned optimism, which showed that people can retrain their minds to recognize opportunities for change instead of seeing setbacks as permanent or personal failures. Individuals who develop learned optimism begin to see them as a temporary or changeable. So going back to the people in the room at the DMZ pitch competition, I guarantee you that at some point they found themselves at a crossroads, working on something that no longer resonated with them, spending time in roles that drained them rather than helped them thrive. But instead of staying the course, as so many people do, they made a different choice. They took control. They believed that the potential of something better was worth the risk. And that's the key. They weren't waiting for permission. They weren't waiting to feel ready. They simply decided to take the first step, not knowing exactly where it would lead. So how do we break free? If you feel stuck in a cycle, breaking free is actually easier than you think because it doesn't have to be a leap. You aren't going to go from feeling stuck to pitching for $100,000 overnight, but you can disrupt the loop. It just requires you to stop marching in place and take one small step in the direction you want to go. So here's 7 ways that can help you break free. Number 1, treat roadblocks like questions. When you hit a roadblock, challenge your inner dialogue. Instead of, there's one thing I can change. Number 2, identify small wins. Recognizing even small successes helps rewire your brain to expect and believe in positive outcomes. Number 3, take action despite doubt. Action disrupts the helplessness cycle. Even a minor shift like applying for a new role, taking a class, or reaching out to a mentor can shift your perception of control. Number 4, stop asking for permission. No one is coming to rescue you. The shift you're waiting for starts with you. Instead of waiting for someone else to tell you it's okay to make a move, decide for yourself. Number 5, redefine progress. Progress isn't always forward. It's sometimes sideways, messy, and unexpected. Reframe what movement looks like so that you don't stay trapped in an outdated definition of success. Number 6, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Moving in a new direction will feel awkward. Expect resistance, even from yourself, especially from others. That discomfort isn't a sign to stop, it's proof you're breaking the cycle. And number 7, take action before you feel ready. Clarity, confidence, and security come from action, not the other way around. If you wait to feel ready, you're gonna stay stuck. Often as you move, the path will reveal itself. You're not actually stuck. The truth is, you're never truly stuck. You just believe you are. The cycle of feeling stuck is a story, a compelling one, an exhausting story, but a story nonetheless. And like the founders in that room last week, you have the power to rewrite it. The question is, will you take the first step? As always, take care of yourself and those around you in partnership. Nabeela.